It's a little after 8 a.m., I guess. I've been up since 4, couldn't sleep. A lot's been on my mind the last few days. But I have my coffee, which is kind of like a coffee / hot chocolate or mocha. I've kind of mixed the two. And we had a church bonfire last night, and I actually snuck 3 marshmallows and stuck them in my cup because I had leftover drink last night, and I just reheated it today. But yeah, I was bad. And then I added 3 more marshmallows to it this morning. So I can't say it's a very healthy cup of coffee. And then I stuck a handful of shelled pecans in my pocket here that I can have for breakfast. And I'm on the road, baby. So anyway, yeah, I've had a lot on my mind lately. As you know, I've said all along this channel is mostly for my 2 kids, my 2 boys, that they can look back and see what old daddy was doing during that time and what they were doing and just life in general, what I was thinking, where I stood on issues and things like that. But, you know, I also talk about my faith in Jesus Christ. I'm coming to Christ a few years ago. I still feel like I'm a young Christian. A lot to learn. I was raised in a Christian Science home, so I was very familiar with the Bible. And if I'm not talking very plain, it's because I haven't had coffee. It's early and I'm not awake, and neither is my mouth. It's like I need to do like exercise with my mouth or something. But anyway, there's been some things on my mind, like about this channel. I only have a few subscribers right now, and that's normal. I'm okay with that. If it never grows, well, it never grows. Life goes on. It's mostly for my boys. But I started thinking that, you know, I will pick up a few subscribers, whether it's going to be 100, 1,000, or 10,000 or 100,000. I don't know. Only God knows that. I have no idea. Whatever's meant to be will be. Let me pass this bike. I don't want to run over him. So anyway, so when I speak about my faith, it's for my boys, but it's also for anyone else who's watching, because, you know, I was thinking, if this channel only brings one person to Christ and salvation, I mean, that alone is humbling, even one person. If I could potentially bring a dozen people or even more, you know, make them see the light, then wow, that would just humble me like to no end. It would be amazing. That said, yesterday at church, I have extreme claustrophobia. I like to sit toward the back and on the end of the pew so I could get out if I have to, or if somebody comes through the door with bad intentions, I can easily get out of my seat and try to stop that situation, whatever might happen. Anyway, I think like that. That's my thought process. I was talking to somebody in the lobby having coffee, and when I started to go in the first service, I noticed my wife and my 2 kids were sitting up quite a ways and in the center of the pew, and there was somebody really close on each side of them where I would have had to sit in between in the middle of the pew, and I'm like, I started sweating. I can't do that. So I went out and sat in the van. I couldn't do it because we go to 2 services, and they're basically, one's traditional, one's contemporary, but it's the same message. So it's not like I'm just missing everything. So yeah, sat in the van, and what popped up, because I was going to watch some videos, is a channel that I just found recently, and I had watched one video, and it's Dash of Faith. Go visit G sometime. He's a good guy, and I enjoyed his video, and I've subscribed. And then I watched a second video while sitting in the van, and it's almost like it's an answer to me. It's like the Lord is speaking to me, maybe in a direction that this channel could go or should go, because I've prayed about it. And then it's like apparently there's this community of people that has the same thought process as I do, like minimal editing, a lot of van videos. Sometimes I'm driving, sometimes I'm just sitting in a parking lot drinking coffee, but I didn't want to do a lot of edits. I didn't want anything fancy. And that's how his channel is. And he's promoting that, type of video. And apparently, like I said, there's this community of them. I forgot what he called them, like Hope. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do some research on that. But anyway, look for him, G at Dash of Faith. But I watched his second video, and then he talks about a young lady, Dodash, and I had never heard of her, but I heard the first video had her in there, like mentioned her, and then he mentioned her again in this video. So I became intrigued. So I looked up Dodash. And the first video I watched of hers, it was so inspirational. She's so sweet and so genuine, authentic. It was amazing. It was when she got like a $6,000 deposit from her YouTube videos. It was so sweet watching her excitement and knowing just how she deserves that, because you can tell by just watching that one video that she's the real deal. She's very genuine and very kind-hearted, and she wants to help people just as G does. That's what I want to do. I mean, I do want this for my boys, but it's to help them. It's to help them understand who I was, but I also want to help them in their faith. They're like being raised now in the church. We just started going less than a year ago. We'd never been to church as a family, and my wife was spoken to by the Lord and basically said, take your family to church on December 17th. But the church was having a special Christmas presentation, like play. And that's so amazing. We have only missed one day since then. And that's when we went up to Indiana to see the total eclipse. We took a trip up there. But anyway, I'm reaching out to all the other believers. Let's connect. Let's just do this together and be here for each other. I'll be glad to pray for you if you need prayer. Leave comments below. And I'm going to still tell my stories because I want to mix the two. And in my head, it's coming together how I can do that, like tell my personal life stories. So my kids will kind of know the daddy who used to be before he was a daddy, but my life. But I also want to shout out for the Lord. I want to shout out for the Lord and reach more people. And if there's one thing, about 7 years ago, I was in a dire situation. I was depressed a lot. I didn't have any answers, and I'm an older person, as you can see. I'm no 20-year-old kid or anything. But I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I was becoming kind of like an artist. Excuse me. Because I wrote a couple of books. I dabbled in this and that and the other, so I took a job sitting in a car several hours a day, like 10 hours a day. I won't mention the exact job, but that's what I did. During that time, I was just scanning through the radio stations. I listen to country music. I love country. There's nothing wrong with country music. Some songs are bad. They talk about cheating and drinking and things, but it's got a lot of wholesome music also. And I like old rock, like Bob Seger, Jimmy Buffett. But anyway, I was sitting there and I don't know if the station couldn't come in that I usually listen to, but I was turning the dial and I came to a Christian music station. I thought Christian music, when people said they listen to Christian music, I just thought it was the old, the Gospels, I mean, I thought, amazing grace, how sweet the sound. I thought it was just a bunch of old hymns and things. I had no idea that there was this whole genre of music that included rock and roll and, praise songs, but like rap and just different sounds. It sounded just like any other station, except they had a message about Jesus, about the Lord. So I started listening to that, and then I found out that they had, in the morning, they would have like preachers or talks like Chip Ingram and people like that. Anyway, at the end, they would always say, if you want to give your life to Christ, to Jesus, I'm inviting you to do so right now. Long story short, I did that. I prayed the prayer. I asked Jesus into my life, and I became a Christian. I asked for forgiveness and redemption. And I listened to nothing but Christian music for a long time. And it changed my life. It changed my life. So I encourage, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are in your walk with Jesus, or if you even have a walk yet. But wherever you are, I do challenge you, if you don't listen to Christian music a lot, to turn off all other music. No country, rock and roll, rap, anything. For 1 week. Just give it 1 week. Turn on a good Christian radio station. Listen to the songs. Listen to the preachers in the morning, if they have that. And then just tell me how you feel at the end of that week. Leave me a comment sometime. I saw myself beginning to change, how I looked at people, how I felt inside, how I felt about myself. It was incredible. It was amazing. And since then, I felt for like the last 6 years that there was something that I should be doing that I'm not doing, that I needed to somehow reach out to people, and I just didn't know how or what. I've started a book. I'm about 3/4 finished with writing a book, and the theme is Christianity, bringing somebody to Christ through a fictional account. But even that didn't seem like it was what I was supposed to do. And I'm not sure if this channel is what I'm supposed to do. I don't know, but I feel like I'm being led in a direction. And one thing that I've learned, I may have mentioned this in a prior video, but there's a voice that you hear. It's like an urging. And you need to listen to it. Once you can discern that it's not just you, your desires, pray for that too. Always pray that God's will be done. Cast out the devil. Devil, leave me. Satan, leave me. You have no control over me. Leave me now in the name of Jesus Christ. I demand you to get out of my life, out of my mind, out of my actions. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Just give it a shot. 1 week. See how it goes. But I'm very thankful for G at Dash of Faith. I've only watched now 3 videos because I watched one this morning. And he mentioned Dodash again. which is cool. I mean, this is like a community that I've discovered, and I'm so excited about it. But anyway, shout out to both of them, Dodash and G at Dash of Faith, and to all the other channels who are just getting started like me, or who are established. It's a family. And you know, there's strength in numbers. Strength in numbers. There's a power in numbers. When a lot of people are gathering and doing the same thing and thinking the same thing and praying a certain way, prayer can change things. So I really have no story about my past other than my sitting in my old, I forgot what year it was an old Mercedes Benz. And I used to just jet around town in that and be creative, do my thing. That's the only story I got today. But my channel is going to be a lot about stories of my past, filled with my thoughts on faith. And like the title suggests, if you're feeling like something's missing in your life, you're empty, maybe it's that spirituality you need to fill up. Fuel up with spirituality. And when I say spirituality, I don't mean anything other than the Holy Ghost, Jesus Christ. So, fill up. I'm gonna drive around, and I'm just looking at some of the damage around western North Carolina, trees down. Oh, this might be a sin right here. It's so sweet. Part of the road is washed out back there. It's amazing. Trees are down everywhere. Roads are washed away. I've seen trees on houses. You hear chainsaws going all the time. It's just been an insane, month since the hurricane. But yeah, this was on my mind. Like I said, I had to get it out because it seems like it was all coming together, and it does seem like I was being led in this direction. I do believe that I'm supposed to do this for the Lord. I'm not 100% sure, but I pray that it's His voice and not my own. But wow, there's some old cars right there. I don't know if you can see these when I turn them on. There's an old truck sitting there. Can you see it? There it goes in the background. Anyway. I love just taking a cruise. I'm in the morning sometimes by myself. Clear the cobwebs out of my brain. But anyway, give it a chance. That's all I'm asking. Give it a chance. 1 week. 1 week, nothing but Christian music on the radio. In your office, in your car, at home. See if it can change your life like it did mine, and like I know it has done so many people. It's changed so many lives. And if you're led to accept Jesus in your life, just do it. Just do it, because you're not going to regret it. You're not going to regret it. So I'm going to let you go. And I'm just going to do my thing. So, cheers, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you guys.